Get ready to dive deep into Buffalo's vibrant music scene because we're stepping inside the fabulous Flamingo Lounge for the 8th season of Local Music Magic. In the Flamingo Lounge with Rockabilly Greg is more than just a podcast. It's a collection of stories that delves deep into the vibrant musical history of Buffalo and Western New York, creating a living archive where each story adds a unique thread to the overall narrative. This week marks the beginning of the 8th season of In the Flamingo Lounge and the second session of Rockabilly to Rachmaninoff, a captivating new series promising unique insights from a featured guest from the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra. New episodes in the series drop every 2 months on the second Saturday. But before we get started, I'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsors, CatsLikeUs.com, Diamond Hawk Golf Course and Pub, and valued supporter Buffalo Ironworks for helping to keep the music alive. Joining us on the second episode of Rockabilly to Rachmaninoff is classical crossover tenor Jay Dref. Jay inspires audiences with his passionate, transcendent voice. His uplifting, timeless interpretations of classic standards and modern material has quickly made him one of the premier vocalists of his generation. Reviewers have called him Groban-like, and his music has become very popular on classical crossover and adult contemporary playlists on Spotify, where he has over 100,000 listeners in 157 different countries. A Buffalo native, Jay is a graduate of the Juilliard School. He has toured internationally and performed at venues such as New York's Lincoln Center, Los Angeles' Dolby Theatre, and the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville. Jay also has appeared in concert with the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra, the Niagara Symphony Orchestra, and the Hilton Head Symphony Orchestra. Most recently, Jay has collaborated with world-renowned soprano Sarah Brightman on several concert tours spanning 4 continents. He will continue to tour with Ms. Brightman throughout this year. It is my honor to welcome to the Flamingo Lounge for the second edition of Rockabilly to Rachmaninoff, Jay Dref. Jay.
Hi, how are you?
I'm awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming down. This
course.
is great. We've been chatting here before we got on and getting warmed up. But we got to keep all the stories here for the recording. So,
absolutely.
But as I mentioned to you off air, I always like to start the show with my standard question, which is, did you have an aha moment when you said, man, music's what I want to do?
When I knew you were going to ask that question, I mean, there's a few different moments that I've had, starting way back to when I was a kid, childhood. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Buffalo and we have an amazing theater community here.
Right. Yes.
And I took part in that. I had done probably 12 to 15 different shows before the age of 15,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Starting at the Lancaster Opera House,
mm-hmm.
Theater of Youth, Art Park. I always loved it. I mean, I've always loved being on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the first aha moment, I don't know, would be, just getting out there and just feeling like at home, just feeling so comfortable on
mm-hmm.
stage,
right?
And having just the response from the audience, it's just such a great feeling.
Uh-huh.
And that's starting when I was just a kid,
right?
I guess another aha moment when I really, really got more serious about singing,
mm-hmm.
it actually has to do with the BPO. It was my first experience, my first professional singing experience
mm-hmm.
was with the BPO.
Oh, wow.
I was just a sophomore in high school, and I went to the Buffalo Academy for Visual and Performing Arts.
Okay.
And I was a member of the select choir there,
mm-hmm.
led by, I don't know if you're familiar with Frank Shinta.
Yeah.
He was our choir director. And we had an opportunity to perform with the Philharmonic.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing a concert version of The Lion King.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? I think I was about 14 or 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And they were looking for a soloist to sing "Can You Feel the Love Tonight."
Oh, nice.
And I remember to this day, I remember there was an audition. The conductor at that time, his name was Maestro Robert Franz.
Okay.
And I ended up getting the solo, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And the day came, the concert, and I just remember getting out there, and the song came on, and I was center stage, packed house. And something clicked in me. And I don't know, at the end of the concert, I was like, wow, that was what an incredible experience that was. I want to keep doing this.
Yeah.
So that's, another aha moment.
Mm-hmm.
We can get into more.
You just rock on.
We can talk about, my college experience too.
Yeah.
I guess one moment was getting my acceptance letter in the mail from the Juilliard School.
Right. Yeah. That's good.
And that, as far as at that point, that was making it into the big leagues.
Right.
And, a young, sort of small town kid from Buffalo moving to the big city to study at one of the most prestigious music schools in the world. And not only getting in, but, they offered me like a full ride to attend. So, So that started a lot of things, opened up a lot of doors for me, and that experience was, I can go on and on about that.
Right.
But,
now, when did you go through a period, because you've got a beautiful tenor voice.
Oh, thank you so much.
But there must have been a spot though where all those geeky kids, right, where your voice is changing and you don't know exactly where it's going to be, and then so when did it?
I know what you're talking. I wasn't sure. I had a really, really good voice teacher actually that sort of coached me through that. I sort of never went through that. It sort of happened. I know some people, you're right. You go through that sort of like weird phase and everything like that. And I sort of like worked with her, and she knew how to really work with the voice.
Right.
And I never, my voice obviously changed, but I never like had like a weird period. It just kind of just sort of like naturally fell into place.
Right.
I do remember I auditioned at Juilliard as a tenor, and my voice changed. I actually trained as a baritone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the last couple of years, I've actually worked my voice back up to tenor. So
Okay.
it's kind of a weird, every 10 years or so, our voices, our male voices are constantly changing.
I know. Yeah.
So that's kind of a wild thing. So, but now I'm a full blown tenor, and I'm getting to sing some amazing material.
Right.
So,
yeah. I know. I always say, because I'm a Barry. I'm kind of a high bass, low Barry, kind of that range. I think an F sharp is about the highest I get comfortably. Without sometimes I can hit a G. I got to keep working at it. But because my buddy and I sing a little bit here and there. But I'm the same with you, man. It's like I always say we were fortunate. We sang at the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame induction gala. We sang Jackson C. Frank, who was a local folk artist, who passed away, and but he was integral to the folk scene in the '60s in London. And Paul Simon, he produced his one and only album, and he got one of his famous songs is "Blues Run the Game," and my buddy and I got to sing that out at the Cove.
Okay. And
it was crowded. There was hundreds of people there, and people are yucking it up, and we got up to sing, and it went absolutely quiet.
That's
and everyone just and I looked at him, and I'm like, wow. I said, if we never sing again, I'm good. I said, this was quite the experience. I said, and it's so funny. People like, oh, I would have been scared out of my mind. I'm like, no, I go the opposite. I'm like, but auditions are what kills me, aren't they? I mean,
very nerve wracking.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, performance easy.
The performance is the easy part. For me, it's like, I've always, my whole life, I've always dealt with nerves, and it's until you get to that moment of you're out there. For me, I feel like the nerves just kind of just go away. Right. You've got them. Everyone always says,
it's
a good thing to have them.
It's a good thing to have
the anticipation. Feeling of it's like you're in your dressing room and you're like, you're kind of like pacing, which I do.
It's like, come on, we want to get out there.
Exactly.
But getting up all by yourself in front of a bunch of people sitting behind a desk telling you to sing 8 bars, and you're like, oh man, it's brutal. It's brutal. I did that. I tried to audition for Art Park for Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I wanted to be Pharaoh. Of course, they had someone coming in from out of town, but I tanked. I was so nervous, and the company was trying to find my music, and they're like, are you going to sing? I said, well, I'm waiting for her to get my music, and it was just brutal.
Yeah. No, I know. I've had some experiences like that where it's just like everything just kind of goes wrong. Yeah. You're like, oh no.
And I'm like, oh, I blew it. I hope they don't remember who I am.
Well, maybe they do. Maybe they remember. You'll be the one person they remember.
That's right. Remember that
the
guy?
The music was flying. It's like, oh yeah, that guy. I remember that guy.
Yeah. But it's crazy stuff, isn't it? So
it is.
So now when you were in high school, so you were doing. So what were some of the musicals you did? And what some of the roles you had?
This is kind of a funny story. I my freshman year, we did a musical called Big. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie, the Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know they made that.
Yeah, it was actually, I think the writer, David Shire, I believe he's from Buffalo.
He's in Music Hall of Fame.
So he wrote this musical
based
on the movie, and it was like my first musical of performing arts. I was a freshman. I ended up getting the part as the friend, Billy, the younger guy. Uh-huh. And the guy that was playing the Tom Hanks role ended up dropping out of the show. And I was approached by the music director and basically he asked me if I wanted to play that role. And I was like, I mean, sure. It's weird because I was I was a late bloomer.
Right.
I hadn't, growth spurt yet.
Yeah.
I was still kind of like, I said I should be playing the young version of Tom Hanks in this, but I ended up playing,
But the old version,
the adult. So they had to get a kid who was probably like in like 4th grade to play like the young me.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that was my first musical. That was a great, I mean, it's such an underrated musical. The music is so, David Shire, I mean, some great music. There's a beautiful song called I Just Want to Go Home. It's one of the most beautiful songs ever written, I feel like.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to remember what he did a couple, I think it was Saturday Night Fever. He did some stuff with.
Okay. Yeah.
And a whole bunch of other movies and stuff like that. Yeah.
But that was a great, I did that my freshman year. Sophomore year, we did Annie. I played Rooster.
Oh, yeah.
Which was fun.
Yeah.
Junior year, we did The Wiz, and I played the Scarecrow. That was interesting. It was fun.
Oh,
and then my senior year, we didn't do a music, or they did something different. They tried like a concert gospel. It was called the Gospel at Colonus. So I didn't take part in that, but I ended up doing more singing stuff, more choir stuff and stuff like that. So,
Now, when you're on there, are you a dancer?
I was not. That's funny. That's kind of like one of the reasons why I decided I didn't want to do musical theater.
Right.
I wanted to pursue opera and classical music.
That's right.
I was a horrible dancer.
Yeah.
I'm still a horrible dancer. I mean, I can move.
I was going to say I'm a mover.
I'm a mover, but I've gone to auditions before, and you make it through the singing part, and then you get to the dance part, and you're like, they're doing the routine. They're like, okay, you do it, your turn. I'm like, just freeze. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't.
I know,
can't do this.
Yeah.
So dancing wasn't really my thing, but I mean, so you kind of fake it till you make it a bit, when you're doing a show.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's truth though. I mean, I decided, I don't think musical theater is for me. I'm not a dancer. If you want to be on Broadway, you got to be able to sing, got to dance, you got to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to sing,
Exactly.
So
yeah. That was, for me, that was my way of singing, because I had no other, because I don't play an instrument.
Right.
And,
I play a little piano,
beyond
percussion.
karaoke, but it's like
karaoke.
Getting up and doing musical theater was a way to sing, so.
Yeah.
And,
it was fun too. For me, like, I just had fun with it. I did a lot of theater. I did, a production of, right out of college, I did a production of Les Mis in Wisconsin.
Wow.
No dancing in that show.
Okay.
So that was good.
Who were you in that role?
I covered the role of Angeles, and I was in the ensemble. Like, I actually had a lot of different roles. There's a lot of different characters. And the cast, it was such a small theater that we worked at. It was called the Fireside.
Okay.
And it's like this theater in the round, very small stage. So I played probably like 10, 12 different characters.
Oh, wow.
I was like a farmer. I was like a poor person.
Right.
I was a drunk in that scene, master of the house.
Right. Yeah.
I was one of the young revolutionaries. And then I came on as the guy who gets stuck under the cart,
Right.
And then Jean Valjean is still kind of like lift him out from under the cart. So it was a fun time,
Yeah.
But
that takes some talent though, because you gotta be flipping
costume
hats.
changes were insane. I'm literally running backstage. I had 10 seconds to change from like a farmer's costume into like another costume.
Like, and then get your head in the space. Of
exactly.
Right?
That's not easy music to sing. I mean, that's hard music.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a fun experience. And I'm actually, I've stayed friends with all those people that I've worked with. So that's another thing. When you do theater, you really meet some really amazing people, that you continue to be friends with, and and that was like over 10 years ago now. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you got to Juilliard, so what was the first thing you did?
Oh gosh,
like on stage with Juilliard?
We had as a freshman at Juilliard, you don't perform really. I mean, you're basically, it's very academic. You're taking like music history, music theory. We have a whole like ear training class where they're training your ear. Like we had this thing, like, oh my god, to this day I still can't do it. It was like a syllable drill.
Okay.
Where we had to like conduct and like do the syllables like really fast, like do re mi fa sol do. I couldn't do. I couldn't even. I mean,
right.
Yeah, we had to take language, like we study like Italian, French, German.
Sure.
But basically, our first year was mostly that, and then at the end of the year we had a thing called the freshman songbook. Okay. Which was basically like our introduction to Juilliard. Like, okay, let's see like how far they've come since they first got here, at the beginning of the year. So it's our opportunity to shine. I went up there and I can't remember what I sang. I sang like some I think Ralph Vaughan Williams, if you're familiar, with that. Nope. Yeah. And then I did an aria from The Elixir of Love by Donizetti.
Right.
And And it was fun. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's and then we had our every year you have to sort of not re-audition, but like there's this thing at the end of the year called a jury where you go up in front of all the teachers and they basically adjudicate you at the end of the year. So yeah, that was like my first performance. Then, sophomore year we got a little, they would cast us in like the operas, or we do like Liederabends, which is like I guess concerts by a certain composer. Like we do like German, like I think I did a Russian Liederabend, so I actually had to learn Russian. So I was singing like works by Tchaikovsky and Rachmaninoff, which was really, really cool. Like that, wasn't. And I got to work with very strict. They had a Russian diction coach that was very like she was very. We got down to like the nitty, the pronunciations and because it's all in like I had to like go to the library and actually like translate and the pronunciations. It's all in Cyrillic. It's all in like a so sure. The operas were amazing. They put on some amazing operas where we had to take part in either we would be in the chorus or we'd have a small role. And I mean, I'm trying to think what else. The whole experience was amazing. Again, like, I mean, I really, really learned how to sing there. Yeah, like big time. Like my teacher, I studied with a woman. Her name's Marlena Malice, and she trained Pavarotti actually. Wow. Which is incredible. Like, I mean, I was standing in the same place basically where Pavarotti was standing.
Isn't that wild?
It is wild. Yeah,
you're like, pinch me.
Yeah, exactly. So I never got to meet. I mean, he's another I mean, another inspiration to me. I mean, I used to listen to his recordings growing up. I would go to the library with my mother, and we, I'd take out a bunch of the Three Tenors CDs, and we go in the car, and long car rides. I'd just be like, this is amazing. Yeah, because the three of them together, Domingo, Carreras, and just
the other guy, right?
The other guy, the lesser known. Yeah. But no, Pavarotti was. I mean, there's nothing. Yeah, there's the voice. That's the voice. I mean, it's just incredible. You can't repeat. You can't beat that. Really. Right. Yeah. So
now, when you're singing those like Russian songs, do you try to figure out what the translation is? Because you obviously don't want to just sing notes, right?
No, you have to. You have to know what you're singing about. That's very important.
What the song is about, right?
Yeah.
So
like I don't necessarily know Russian. I'm not fluent in Russian. Right. But if you're singing a song, you really need to know like what you're singing about, so you can express the feeling. You don't want to be singing a song about death and you're like you appear to be happy.
You're smiling.
Exactly. So there's a part of that is you really do have to know what you're singing about. That's gotta be tough though. I mean, because I always say, and that's the difference between someone who sings and someone who's a true vocalist, right? They can emote and they can bring out the feeling and all that with a song, as opposed to, I mean, you can get it. That's hard. We took, we also, as singers, we also took like acting classes while we were there. And, for that purpose alone, like just to really, we would take a song and you'd have to really just pick it apart, and like, think about like the character there, or what, like if it's an opera, an aria, you have to think about what are his motives? Like, what is he going through at that point in the opera? Exactly. So, you really have to express, each phrase really. So, so that was tough too. I mean, we had some really great teachers though that really worked with us like one-on-one, and I had such a good experience working with them, because it's really important, I mean, at that point, I really wanted to be an opera singer. I mean, opera's not really what I ended up doing, but I'm a trained opera singer. If someone hired me to do an opera tomorrow, I mean, it would take me some time to figure it out, but I feel like I could still do it.
Yeah. So. One of my classmates at Fredonia, her son, Michael Hawk, is out west, and he's doing
I've heard that name actually, Michael Hawk. Yeah. Okay.
I remember we gave him a scholarship for when I was on the Hall of Fame, and I'm like, and they showed up, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And they're like, what are you doing here?
All right. Is he a tenor, Barrett?
I think he's a tenor.
Okay.
Boy, he had a beautiful voice. So they ended up getting there a little late. So like in the middle of the show, because I said, you guys drove all the way. They lived in Brockton. I said, you get up and do your thing. And so between all this rock and roll, and he sings this beautiful aria, and it's just,
sure, I know.
It's like, wow,
It's impressive, really. It really is.
Come back in 25 years when we give you a Hall of Fame, induction, because he's good. But it is so interesting to to listen. I mean, there's so many different types of voices too, right? But like
There
you
are.
said, we were talking about our friend Jessie Galante,
Yeah,
that you
that's
did
right,
stuff
Jesse.
with, and and you did some work with
I
her, and
did.
the,
I
the
did.
juxtaposition of your voice with,
Yeah, shout out to Jessie Galante.
yeah. Oh, Jessie's my gal.
Yep.
I love Jessie. She's a sweetheart, and of course, as I told you, the reason why we're here, and but yeah, she's got that nice raspy rock,
I love it. Yeah.
voice, and trying to get her to sing delicate is just it's like Jessie. But I think her brother is just the opposite.
Yeah.
He's got a beautiful voice.
Mhm.
But now, what's that like when you get two totally different types of voices to try to blend and try to
I
figure out
think
how that's going to work?
I think it's great when I hear, like for example, back to Jessie. She and I did a duet called Miserere,
Mm-hmm.
and it was originally done by Andrea Bocelli and
Okay.
Zucchero. And Zucchero is known for his he has like I don't know if you know Zucchero. He's like an Italian. He's got a little bit of a raspy kind of voice.
Okay.
He's famous for that song Caruso.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, he did it this duet. It was a beautiful written duet with Andrea Bocelli. And I just think bringing Pavarotti, another one I'm kind of all over, but
Right.
he's sort of the same. He'd do these concerts where he'd bring pop singers.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember those. He was doing those concerts where he's raising money and our awareness and stuff like that. And he'd bring like in Celine Dion, he'd bring in like Mariah Carey,
Yeah.
Sting, like
Yeah.
U2. And I think it was just amazing. You hear Pavarotti in this him trying to sing their songs was
Right.
actually really cool. You got Pavarotti trying to sing like a U2 song,
Yeah.
and then U2 trying to sing like Nessun Dorma. And I think it's amazing. I
Yeah.
think it's really cool bringing two different voices together. I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, I think more of that would be amazing. I would love to do more work with other artists and stuff like that.
Right,
Kind of
yeah.
having this classical guy, with like somebody like Jessie Galante or something like that.
Right,
would be
yeah.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
I know we're jumping all over. It's
Yeah.
it's going to wait till later. But since
Yeah.
we're talking about singing with others, so how did you get paired with Sarah Brightman?
Oh man, let's see. Well, I'm trying to think here. So this goes back to I was living in New York City
Mhm.
at the time, and we all know COVID happened,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up leaving New York at that point and coming back to Buffalo because I just thought that was the right thing to do. I mean,
Right.
New York was kind of a scary place at that point.
Yeah.
I had a job working as a bartender at a theater,
Right.
and I ended up losing that job because, as you know, theaters Broadway got shut down.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm in New York. I don't have a job. I'm like, what do I do?
Mhm.
At this point, I was still kind of trying to figure stuff out. I was kind of going through a phase where I'm like, okay, yeah. Anyway, that's another story. But yeah, I ended up moving back to Buffalo, and I started doing a lot of online stuff, like a lot of online concerts.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Like I was collaborating with like artists from all over the world through this group called Classical Crossover Magazine,
Okay.
and they somehow discovered me online,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up winning Classical Crossover Artist of the Year.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
So
Yeah.
so that I continued to do that, and I worked with people all over. I had a lot of online presence at that point,
Mhm.
and I guess somehow Sarah got wind of that,
Right.
yeah, I'm just, I mean, let me take a second here. Yeah, I got a call from one of her team, I guess.
Okay. Right.
And they were in need of a tenor. I
Mhm.
guess the tenor she was touring with at the time pulled out at the last minute.
Okay.
And I guess like I had known somebody that knew her, and sort of like, came together.
Right.
They were in need of a tenor, like desperate need of a tenor. I actually had 2 weeks to learn a bunch of music,
Wow.
and I had to fly to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania to start this Christmas tour
Right.
with Sarah.
Wow.
But really what it was, I mean, I think it was COVID that, really allowed me to sort of like just get stuff out there. Because before that I had no online presence, and
okay.
nowadays, like you really need
Right.
stuff out there,
Mhm.
and now I have music all over Spotify. I have music
Sure.
on, so yeah, so I at that point I thought, okay, I'm replacing this guy for just like one little tour,
Mhm.
it'll be an amazing experience,
Mhm.
which it was. And next thing you know, I was the new guy, and here
Yeah.
we are about 4 or 5 years later,
Wow.
and I'm still touring with Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm just coming back from Japan.
Okay.
I was, for the month of July, we were in Japan doing the Starlight Symphony tour.
Wow.
And we're getting ready to do another Christmas tour.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be in the States this year.
Right. Oh, good.
So that's really
Yeah.
exciting. Actually, we're doing a show right here in Western New York. We're going to be at Fallsview Casino the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now,
So-
that Fallsview's on the other side.
It is on the it's on the Canadian
Okay,
side.
so you're going to be
Yeah.
in Canada. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm telling a lot of people. Actually, we did a show here before. I think it was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay.
So the Canadians all came because they don't. I guess
Right. Yeah, it's
right.
not their Thanksgiving.
But a lot of
It's-
people, oh, I can't come. Sorry, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Sorry, But this year, it's the day before. So
day before. Yeah. All right, kids. Mark your
mark
calendars.
your calendars. Yeah.
So we'll get to your show with the BPO.
Yeah.
With,
Yes. Right. That's
at
right.
the end of the show. So
Yeah.
we'll save that till the end. But so I mean that's got to be crazy to be traveling the world.
It's amazing.
Singing. I mean,
it's
just
a dream come true.
Yeah.
I mean, I get to see the world.
Yeah.
And I get to sing, which I love.
Right.
Love doing, and I get to work with someone like Sarah Brightman, who's one of the most amazing. She's an amazing artist. She's an amazing person.
Right.
And we really get to hang out. We get to we're on the tour bus, and she's so down to earth. She's just a normal person like us.
I was gonna say,
we sit down, we have a drink, we hang out, whatever, and
right.
it's great. And
it just so happens you guys are on stage singing.
Yeah. And that's another. I get out there and it's just I'm still pinching myself.
Right.
This is real because I grew up listening to Sarah Brightman. I remember seeing her concerts. She'd have those crazy concerts with all the lights and everything, and they'd be on PBS. And I was like, wow, this Sarah. She's who's this? This is amazing. It's so cool. And here we are.
And now here you are. Wow.
She introduces me, and I come out, and it's just amazing.
Right.
Yeah. Grinning from ear to ear. Like
now, are you out there with her the whole show?
No, it's mostly it's her show. I'm her
Okay.
featured tenor, so I come out.
Okay.
I do a few duets with her. I have a couple solos that I do.
Right.
And then I come back. We have like an encore. I get to do, which is amazing. I mean, I love the Phantom of the Opera. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And it's just a dream. I get to sing Phantom with the original Christine.
Oh wow!
She originated the role.
That's right.
When she was with Andrew Lloyd Webber, and he basically wrote the show, wrote the role for her. And here I am coming out on stage singing with her every night, and it's just it's an amazing experience.
Yeah. How cool is that? Right? It's like, jeez. No, I have to ask because one of my favorite. Did you ever sing Ave Maria?
I have sung up many a time.
I love that's like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I don't.
Which version do you do? Do you do the Schubert or do you do the?
I've never. I would be too. I sing it by myself, but I've never done it on stage because I don't know if I could pull it off. So, especially with my range, but I'd love to try. What the hell?
Yeah.
But I just love. That just it's just so. It's such a beautiful song.
It really is.
And one of these days, you never know.
Right.
You're never too old. I was late 50s when I started this thing called the podcast. So it's try new things.
Why not?
You never know.
You never know.
Maybe I'll be 75 singing. Singing solo stuff, but who knows? But you have to do it, and obviously your love for it and your passion comes through on stage, and but so I know.
Yeah, I mean it's cliche, I guess. I mean it sounds cliche, but I mean I feel like I was born to do this.
Yeah.
This is what I was put here to do.
Right.
Well,
and I think that's been a common denominator though. With a lot of they're like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do, and that's why I say you had that aha moment, and it was like, either it was a lot of guys were like, I saw Sullivan, I saw the Beatles on the Sullivan Show, went out and got a guitar or a drum kit or whatever, and that was it. And we made a garage band, and here I am. And
that's
Van Taylor. He says I was in the womb. He says I knew I was going to before I was even born.
Yeah.
And
I think my
like,
parents knew something. There was something going on at our house. I mean, I used to put on these little shows with my toys, and I was just always a performer, always just wanting to be the center of attention. From a very young age. So I think, it's just always been a part of me.
Yeah. I just went and saw, I had a young girl on, she's a country singer, Savannah Swatland. And I think her voice is awesome. And she played Saturday, and I went out to see her, and I met her dad, and he's talking, and her mom's like, yeah, she was singing Dolly Parton's Jolene before she was 2 years old.
Wow.
And I says, yeah, when someone's doing that,
Yeah.
I said, I am so glad that you guys didn't dissuade her from following that passion, and you're letting, she,
Yeah.
most people, I mean, I think you're very fortunate
Yeah.
to do it full time, right? And
Absolutely.
because you don't have a day job, I would imagine, a
No,
quote
this
unquote
is,
day
I
job.
mean, this is my day job now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I do.
Which is great. I mean, fantastic.
Amazing.
Right?
Yeah, a lot of people, so what do you, you're a singer. So what's your,
Yeah.
what restaurant do you work at?
Exactly. Where are you washing dishes?
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump back to,
Okay.
To college. So once you left Juilliard, then what was next?
At that point, I know a lot of my friends decided, to stay in school, actually. Like, I just got in my undergrad. A lot of them stayed, got their masters, their doctorates, or whatever.
Right.
I wanted to just get right into it.
Mhm.
I wanted to start my career. I wanted to sing.
Right.
And I was talking about it before. I mean, my first gig out of college was that Les Mis I did. I went to Wisconsin to do that.
Right.
And after that, I mean, I came back to New York. I had to get a job like everybody does. I was working as a busboy, at a sports bar in the East Village.
Right.
For a bit, and then I started actually like wanting to get into the studio. Like, I had never I'm trying to think who, I think I had worked at a studio here in Buffalo. I had actually, this goes back to before college. Actually, I had to record a CD for to make a pre-screening, because the colleges you had to send like a CD, and they'd have to listen to it, and they determine whether they want to bring you in for a live audition. Right. So I was working over at that point it was called Audio Magic.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So it was, I don't know if you're obviously familiar. It was, I'm trying to think who, Mike Rorick was the engineer over there. Robbie Konikoff. Right. All those guys, and what a great, being introduced to that as a young kid. I mean, it's just amazing. I remember walking in there, I was so amazed by, wow, we're in a recording studio. Yeah. So I came back to Buffalo for a bit, and I worked with a guy named Russell Graham. He's a Buffalo guy. He actually tours with Chic, not Chic. Is it? No, Nile Rodgers. Oh, okay. Nile Rodgers. He's a guy. He's a Buffalo guy. And I came back to Buffalo, and I wanted to put some music out. I wanted to record some stuff. So the first thing I ever recorded was he was the engineer. It was Caruso. That song Caruso. Okay. And I released it, and I got a lot of great response from that. And I just I knew, just based on that response, I wanted to get back into the booth, and I wanted to just put more music out and stuff like that. And then fast forward a couple years, I met these people. I don't even know how I met them. My manager met them, found them, I guess, on LinkedIn. I don't know the whole story. Because we were looking for I guess not artist management, but people to sort of help me along with my career and stuff like that. And this guy was named Marty Maidenberg, and I ended up going back to New York, working with this guy, and he was sort of like an artist. He was kind of molding me into I don't know, I went in and I worked with him, and he kind of picked out things we did a photo shoot. Okay. So he's picking out what I'm going to wear, where I'm going to take the photos and stuff like that. Right. And then he had some songwriter friends, because we wanted an original piece, actually. So I did all these covers and stuff like that. And he said it would be really cool to have a couple originals. So he connected me with a guy in LA named Stefan Mocchio, or I think Stefan Mocchio, who's he's probably one of the greatest songwriters. I mean, you've probably heard some of his stuff. I mean, he's known for writing songs by Celine Dion. I mean, he's got one of his biggest hits right now to this day. He wrote that song "Wrecking Ball" by Miley Cyrus. Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. He did some other things for The Weeknd, if you're familiar with The Weeknd. Yeah. And I went out to LA, and I went to his studio, and he had wrote a song for me. Or I don't think he actually wrote it for me, but it was a song that he had written previously. Okay. And he couldn't find the right singer to sing the song until he heard my voice. And the song was called "Taxi in the Rain." And I remember hearing it for the first time, and I just stopped in my tracks. I was literally I was in New York, and I was just walking, and I just stopped. I said, I have to do this song. So next thing you know, I'm flying out to LA. I'm in his studio. You got your studio here. He's got pictures on the walls with all these crazy celebrities that he's worked with, stuff like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my God, look at that, Celine Dion. Wow.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, she actually recorded on this microphone that you're about to record on. I was
Right.
like, get
Wow.
out of town. So, I was there for about a week. We recorded that song. I went back again to record another song with him, and we released all this music on Spotify, and that's when I like sort of started putting more stuff out.
Okay.
And now I have a ton of stuff on Spotify now. You can
Nice.
find me on Spotify.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And then I guess after that, I mean, that's COVID. I think that's when COVID hit.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's when I ended up moving, and we already talked about it. I moved home and,
Right.
you know, put a bunch of stuff online, got connected with Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
and here we are. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that you put stuff online, because I had Zuri Appleby on.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
For my 100th episode, almost 2 years ago now. But I was trying to make the point, because I know she's worked hard and all this stuff that, you know, because everyone's like, oh, you'd be like Justin Bieber and put a YouTube video and you get discovered and you make $1 million. And I said, so how did that work for you? And she's like, well, actually, my mom always recorded everything I did, no matter where I played around town, and put it on YouTube. And when someone was looking for a female bass player, there she came up, you know. And I said,
people still do that. I mean, I'm finding videos of myself on YouTube I didn't even know existed. So
yeah,
you know,
and I'm like, well, you're ruining my point here, Zuri. I'm trying to tell you, you got to work hard. But she's like, oh, I worked hard. She says, believe me, you know, I worked really hard. But the point is, though, but you have to, like you said, you got to get out there. Yeah. You know, nowadays, if you're not out there, you don't exist. You know.
Nope.
No one.
I try to get out there. I mean, even tonight. I mean, I try to do something every day that's going to sort of put me out there. Like, you know, so, I mean, cause it's like, it's a constant thing. You gotta keep doing it. I mean, in other ways, you know, especially with like, you know, kids these, you know, what people are listening to, and you got to stay relevant, you know, you got to stay, you know, so, and you're competing against so much. That's the thing. It was so much easier, I feel like, to be successful as an artist before social media, because now anybody can put something up on YouTube or now it's, what is it, TikTok now? Yeah. And it's just crazy how the times have changed. So
well, and being top of mind too. I mean, that's I'm in the marketing biz, right? I tell everybody, why do you think Coca-Cola still advertises? Right. Stay top of mind. Yeah. You know, if they don't, then Pepsi's going to beat them, and you know, and that market share goes down, blah blah blah. Yeah. So if you're not out there, people are very fickle. I mean, you know, and you know, one, you know, is my wife and I always watched what was it, the show where they do all the fashion, and Heidi Klum was always like, one day you're in, and the next day you're out.
It happens that quickly too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. You know, it's like take your 15 minutes of fame and enjoy it.
Right, exactly.
But I think Elvis, I mean, I'm a fan. I think he says, you know, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and if it ends something, I'll just say I had my day. You know, it was some paraphrasing, but you know, he's just, and of course, you know, he definitely had his day, but
oh sure. Yeah.
But you know, at the same time, he's like, hey, I'm smart enough. I might be the thing today, and you know, tomorrow you look at all the young, you know, people that have come out, and you know, they get a little older, and you know, I know you mentioned you know, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga, but how she reinvented herself with Tony. Yeah. You know, that's put her into a different sphere. You know,
I love what she's doing,
singing jazz and everything. Yeah.
She's still, you know, she's very, what do you call it? Like she's, she can do a lot of different things.
Yeah,
you know?
She's a real chameleon. She really is. Yeah. And but watching her sing with Tony Bennett, you know, I think I mentioned I saw Tony, you know, at the casino here in the States, and his daughter sang with her, and she had a beautiful voice. Don't get me wrong, she was very nice, very lovely, but it wasn't that same chemistry that Lady Gaga had with him. You know, I mean, she had this special. She brought something out,
you know, in him. Like he just,
and he brought out with her. I mean, I remember
like
when that duet
transported to, like, you know, the day when he was in his prime. You know, it's like, you know, like
when that duets, the first duets album came out, everyone was talking about his duet with Amy Winehouse, because she had just passed away. Okay, and it was good. You know, they did Body and Soul, and it was really. But then I heard Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett, you know, doing their duet, and I'm like. Man, they were having so much fun, and she was just, and watching the video, you could just see, you see the love in her eyes, and
Yeah.
that's a special, when you have that kind of a thing,
Yeah.
and you have that chemistry, if
Mhm.
you will, if
That's very important too. Like,
yeah,
having that
and
chemistry.
you kind of mentioned that, with Sarah, that you have this,
They're
because if you didn't
immediate.
have that connection, you wouldn't be touring
No,
anymore, right?
no. Like I said before, I mean, they sort of kept me on. They sort of loved having me around, and
Right.
for me, it's like, I was just being myself, just,
Hmm.
I'm Jay Dref, and
Right.
I'm a singer, but like, it's like at the end of the day, you leave the stage and you just go back to being Jay,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I know, tenors get a bad rep. Tenors get a bad rep for being kind of like, full
Yeah.
of themselves, kind of like I'm the greatest thing ever.
Right.
I'm just a regular guy,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just having fun.
Right.
This is I enjoy it. I just enjoy this so much. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like, you're right, the chemistry. I mean, I with everybody, not just Sarah, but with like the crew, just everybody, I just got
Right.
along with everybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and that's important.
Right. Now, in your bio here, it mentions you played some pretty cool venues, and one of them's the Ryman.
Yeah, the Ryman.
I
we're going back to the Ryman this year. Yeah.
Is that like?
It's crazy.
Do those walls talk? I mean,
my dressing room. I was told that, oh, you're this. I was in the same dressing room that Elvis was in, or
Right.
Johnny Cash. I'm like,
yeah,
insane. Yeah.
yeah,
And that state, there's so much history there, because I
my
remember
God.
like the day we were there, during our like rehearsal, there were people actually just there, just touring the place, because
Right.
it's like a museum by day,
oh yeah,
a
yeah,
venue by night. So,
right.
yeah, I mean, that's if the if the walls could talk. Oh my gosh,
I know.
mean, you've got a ton of these guys on your wall. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure these guys all play.
Oh yeah,
you
Ramblin'
know?
Lou. He's
Yeah.
more well known in Nashville than he is here in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nashville's a great
Yeah.
city. I love Nashville.
That's,
it's really
I
nice.
haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
I've done Memphis, but I haven't done
Okay.
Nashville. So
But one of these days, yeah, I actually
one of
went to
these days.
the Country Music Hall of Fame. I actually stopped over there when we
Right.
were there, and amazing. They
Yeah.
got Elvis's Cadillac there, or whatever.
yeah.
The pink cat. White, is it white? Pink?
Well, he had a pink one.
Yeah, I think the pink Cadillac
Yeah.
was there.
There's
Yeah.
I think he has the purple one is in Memphis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one he gave his mom. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're huge. They're like as long as this basement is. Like, holy smokes!
Yeah.
That's why they call it a Cadillac.
But yeah, the Ryman was great. I mean, and then like this past tour, we were in LA. I did the Dolby, which was amazing.
Right. Yeah.
I'm standing here on the stage where they host the Oscars every year.
Yeah.
That was incredible. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's.
so
I would have to think that. I mean, I've been lucky to play the Riv, but it's
Yeah.
like, and there's been a lot of
Yeah.
folks that I admire that have played that
Played the Riv.
stage.
a lot of history there too.
So it's like you
Yeah.
think, boy, the people that have walked these halls and played these venues
Mhm.
and what they've done and
Yeah.
wow, here I am, just a
Yeah.
little podcast.
I mean, I'm very grateful. I'm lucky
Yeah.
that this is what I get to do, and I get
Yeah.
to see, get to play these venues.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, I
Right.
never would have thought I would ever
Yeah.
be doing. So
Now, have you gotten
Yeah.
over to the Opryland stage too?
no,
in Nashville?
no, just the Ryman. Yeah.
Okay.
But that'd be cool.
Because I've always wanted to. It's like, what one would feel more like? I don't know, like spiritual, I guess. I mean, obviously, Opryland's the first one, and it was
Yeah.
a church, right?
Yeah,
And,
right. The Ryman it was a church. Yeah,
the church, yeah, it was
exactly.
a church originally, and
Yeah.
of course, WSM.
Okay.
People
yeah.
don't realize that was a radio show.
Wow.
So they were
Very
and they were, you could hear their signal all across the country.
Amazing.
Back in those days, that's why KB was so important back
That's
in
right.
the day in
Okay,
Buffalo.
That's
'cause
right. Yeah.
50,000 watts up and down the East Coast.
Amazing.
Now
Yeah.
you can't. You go farther than Fredonia, you're gonna,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get them. But yeah, back in the day, you got all that stuff, and that's how those folks, if they got on that show,
That
someone's going to hear
got
you.
discovered.
You
Yeah.
know, that's where I think like West Coast jazz too. I mean, some
Mhm.
of those guys were like, yeah, we're going to play this because they're going to hear us on the East
They're
Coast.
gonna hear us.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's crazy stuff. So like at that time, COVID and everything, so you went through and found your, got some content out there and got Sarah Brightman. What else have you done besides? So obviously you've done some stuff with the BPO.
I've done quite a lot with the BPO
Yeah.
actually. The last few years actually, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I did the patriotic. They do a patriotic pops concert every year,
Okay.
and I did that 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And then I, with them a couple summers ago, I sang. They had an outdoor concert at the AKG Art Museum,
Mm,
and I was
okay.
their featured soloist for that,
Right.
which was amazing. That you had like 3,000 people just wanting to just be outside and enjoy. It was a beautiful day. I remember it was a
Right.
beautiful night.
Wow.
and then this year I'm taking part again. I'm doing they're opening their pop season with a show-stopping pops, which is going to be music from all the great Broadway musicals from the last 50 years.
Oh, wow.
Like that.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. And who's going to be performing with you?
It's Ron Spiegelman.
Ron
is
Spiegelman,
the conductor.
My first Rockabilly to Rachmaninoff guest was Ron. He was here.
And so it'll be my first time working with Ron. And then Michelle Ragusa, who's also a Buffalo legend. I guess she's been on Broadway quite a few times now, and she's coming back to do this concert with me. So we're doing some duets together. It's going to be
cool,
quite the experience. So,
and that's September 27th.
September 27th.
Yeah. So
and I'm really excited. I'm really excited for that. And then I haven't really announced this yet, but September 28th, I am singing the national anthem at the Buffalo Bills Saints game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's
cool.
Be incredible.
Yeah.
So
oh, good for you. I've auditioned for that. We didn't get it.
No, I just got a call.
Did you?
I guess they knew who I was. Who knew? I don't know.
There you go.
Like, who's this guy? This local guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So that'll be really fun. That's going to be a fun weekend.
Right.
Me, so
that's tough. You got the echo in there and everything.
Yeah. I've done it before. I've done a few Bison's games and stuff like that. Yeah. But this is a whole nother level right here.
Gosh, yes. Yeah.
The NFL. So
yeah. It's you got.
I think my dad's more excited about the fact I'm singing the national anthem than anything else I've ever done. I think a lot of Buffalo people would be.
Okay, well, go Bill. I mean, come on,
Bills,
this is a Bill. Everyone's go Bills. So
yeah.
So it's hard to. I kind of say there's music, guys. We got more than sports and snow and chicken wings around here.
Oh, gosh, chicken wings.
But, so I'll have, as always, at rockabillygreg.com, I'll have links so people can get tickets to see your show with the BPO. And it'll be a couple weeks before the show that you can get your tickets. So when this airs. And and that'll be great. I'll have to, unfortunately, I've got four things to do that day. Okay. But one of these days. But it's cool to have Ron on first, and that's going to be his inaugural.
Oh, Ron's going to be on. Yeah. Okay.
Well, he was on first. He was on a couple weeks ago.
Out. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, he was sitting where you
I'm
are.
excited to work with him. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was a great guy. We had so much fun talking, and he had some wonderful stories, and it's so cool to talk to folks who traveled the world and everyone's
it's great. I appreciate having me on. This has been so much fun.
Everyone's just so like, it's
yeah.
I always say it's for all the people that I have met like through the Hall of Fame and through the podcast and everything, people have got wonderful stories. They've played with greats, and they've sang alongside very well known household names, and they're just like, we did the show, and they're just not braggadocious about it, and the ones that really are true artists, they usually don't. Unless you're just sitting around having a cup of coffee or a beer, and then someone will say, "Hey, remember when we did that gig, and so and so was there, and man, that was and that's kind of what brought me to the podcast, because I just loved hearing those stories, and it's like, wow, this is all part of Buffalo, and these are stories that have gone unheard,
right?
And unknown. I don't know how many people still don't know Harold Arlen was from Buffalo.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's like, come on, he wrote the most popular song of the 20th century, and Over the Rainbow.
Everybody knows the song, but do they know who wrote it? No.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, should I know? And I'm like, yeah, you should. In my opinion,
if you're from Buffalo, you should know.
You should know. Yeah, that's pretty. That's important. And I think at least to know your stories, know your history.
Yeah.
And and all the Erie Canal and all the music that brought, back in the day, and everything. So some of the other Buffalo Philharmonic shows that you've done over the years, what has it always been like pops? Have you done some
pops.
of the traditional stuff, or just all the pop shows?
Yeah, just pop shows. I mean, I did. Well, actually, my first experience with the BPO was when I took the Young Musicians Scholarship as a senior in high school, and with that came. I got to perform for their summer concert series,
right?
Which was as a 19-year-old kid, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
All the outdoor, and those things had a great turnout. And after that, I was I think 2 or 3 years ago was when I started doing the pops concerts, the patriotic, the
Right.
Memorial Day concerts,
Mm-hmm.
and so singing all of the patriotic tunes and everything like that.
Right.
And then that one at the AKG, which was huge.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I've been doing quite a lot with it. I love working with the BPO.
Right.
It's such a treat, such an amazing thing that we have here in
Right.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
So
What's it like to sing in that venue? I mean, boy, the
I love Kleinhans.
the acoustics are like,
it's amazing. The acoustics are incredible.
Yeah.
Kleinhans we're so lucky to have such a great
yeah.
space here.
I mean, I know you've got pipes, but it's not hard
But
to
you
hit
need
the
a good
back
venue.
row, right?
You need
Yeah.
something like Kleinhans to really
Yeah.
maximize the whole experience.
Yeah.
So
Are you usually mic'd when you're doing that
yes,
stuff? You are?
yes,
Okay.
I am. Either I have a handheld or I have
Okay.
like a
Okay. Yeah.
face thing, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Whatever they call that. Yeah.
Is it a lavalier or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of nice. I mean, you get to use your hands a little bit more. I've done some concerts where it's like nice to kind of, more express. You don't have to hold on to like a microphone the whole time.
And then you're doing the Tom Jones thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. There you go. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. Now, do you normally sing with the whole orchestra, or sometimes do you kind of pare it down a little bit?
Usually the whole orchestra.
Whole orchestra, yeah.
Yeah. It's which is cool.
Wow. Yeah.
And I've worked with some amazing conductors. John Morris Russell did one of the concerts. Bradley Fatchik, who I've actually worked with at the Niagara Symphony.
Okay.
I've done concerts. I did a whole Gershwin show with him in Niagara.
Right.
Or in where is it? Yeah, the Niagara Symphony Orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
And we also did the music of Rodgers and Hammerstein there, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then most recently, with John Morris Russell, he invited me to Hilton Head to sing with the Hilton Head Symphony.
Ah, okay.
Which was just the Jay Dref show. It was just all the Jay Dref greatest hits. So
yeah,
that was amazing. I love it out there. South Carolina, Hilton Head's just beautiful. We were on the beach and the crowd was amazing and hope to go back there one day.
Yeah. Does the salt air affect you at all?
Not really.
No.
I deal with, I guess it depends on the time of year. I deal with like allergies and stuff like that, So, but I'm usually pretty good,
Right.
Yeah. So the salt, I think I mean, I grew up in the salt. I mean, we had a beach house in Long Island when we were kids, and it was always just. I think I've been used to it at this point. Yeah.
Right.
But,
well, you never know, because sometimes vocalists are like
I do a lot of weird vocal warm up things. I have this new thing where it's like a neti pot or something like that I use, but it's not a neti pot. It's like the one that you squeeze up one nostril and it drains out the other nostril.
Oh, okay.
It's like kind of like I don't know. Apparently singers live by it. It's like But I drink a lot of throat coat tea.
Yeah.
I highly recommend that before performance. Ginger, lemon, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of weird rituals. I mean, when you're in your dressing room and you got hours before the show, you're just kind of like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So I try not to eat before a performance either. So I'm usually after a show, I'm usually starving.
Right.
Yeah. Because you just don't want to. Anything that kind of dairy's never good to have dairy before you get up on stage.
I did a show with a guy once, and he was eating not the crust, but he had like one of those French bread loaves, and he was eating the middle of the French bread, just the doughy part. He says, kind of it like takes up the acid in my stomach and kind of kind of calms me down. So it's like, well, it's a good idea. So it worked for him, It's
everybody's different. Everybody's got their thing, So
and who knows? And it's all right. It's all
it's all here.
It's all
here. If you're telling yourself, "Oh, I'm not gonna be able to do this,"
your lucky socks, right?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I mean, it's I like to I guess in all the different hotels, there's always a workout center or a gym or whatever. I like to run before singing. Like the morning. I usually wake up the morning of a performance and I'll run because it helps just. Gets the day going, gets the body, and it helps. Right. I guess like physically, like it's good for your lungs, to get a little cardio before performance.
Right.
That's. I mean, I know maybe I shouldn't say this, but Sarah likes to do yoga before a show, which is
yoga's not easy.
Yoga's good.
I've done yoga with my wife, and people are like, oh, yoga. No,
I still have yet to take it up, but I've been told it's helpful.
It is helpful, and finding your mountain. just find it's very calming, you know.
Yeah.
And if you really can kind of have a good instructor and you just kind of go through it, but
Yeah.
physically,
Oh yeah.
man, when I first started doing it with my wife,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is
It
not
takes
easy.
a toll.
I've worked out at like, you know, gym workouts. I said, this kicked my behind,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, because you're really honing in on muscles. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, so I can imagine that's got to be.
Yeah, you got to be some certain exercises you got to be careful with because you don't
Right.
want to like strain yourself. You know,
Right.
there's a lot of like on the vocal cords, you got to be careful with that. But
Right.
like running is great, and that's I mean I feel like it became like I was like all weird if I didn't make it to the gym, I was like all worried that I wasn't going to sing well that night.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, so you know, but yeah, trying to think.
Have you ever been timed at how long you held a note?
Now I've held some pretty long ones, but I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever been timed.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I can hold a long. I can hold a
Right.
long note. I can hold a note.
Because I remember I love Linda Adder. She's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, Linda. Okay.
And
okay.
I can't remember what song she was saying. It was Don Quixote.
Okay.
And she does this real high thing, and then she has her teeth together,
Okay.
and she holds this note absolutely level, no vibrato, nothing, just like forever. And she just kind of looks out like it's so effortless, and you know it's not, you know. And it's like,
But they make it look effortless.
yeah, it's like,
wild how they can
man,
do that.
I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that's just incredible. Yeah.
You gotta, you know,
Yeah.
it's
but to have it come out absolutely, you know,
Yeah.
perfectly level without any kind of
any
waver
vibrato
to
or
it. Yeah,
whatever.
any vibrato or nothing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and I
That's
kind
tough.
of like that vocal style better. All the, you know,
The vibrato. Yeah.
I think the vibrato, I think kind of American Idol and that kind of stuff, it kind of
Yeah.
ruined that because they wanted everybody to,
To have a vibrato.
you know, show your runs and show
Oh,
this and
yeah.
show your vocal range. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, I want to hear you interpret a song. Yeah, I think that's
None of those people. You watch. If I went back and watched American Idol now, I mean, I used to watch it a lot as a kid.
right.
A lot of them just, I didn't feel the emotion. They were
Right.
just up there singing. You know.
Although I know Ruben Studdard's playing the BPO.
Is he now?
Yes.
That's right. I saw that.
Yeah, Ruben's
he's
playing, because Ron was talking about that. And
Yeah,
he's like,
I will be there in the front row.
Ruben's,
Yeah.
he's doing a Luther Vandross thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
oh my
he's
gosh.
someone that kind
yeah.
of like went off the radar, you know, when he mentioned that. I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah, Ruben. Yeah,
I mean, he was huge in the gospel music scene for
Yeah.
a while there. I think he still kind of is,
right.
you know, but I think he went on tour with Clay Aiken.
Yeah, I think
You know,
so.
they did like
yeah.
a tour together, but he what a great voice.
Yeah, 'cause
I
I
mean,
think-
Clay Aiken
Yeah.
can't be. I mean, I was a Clay fan when I went.
Were ya?
'Cause I
Yeah.
remember, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first season I watched. Actually, I didn't watch with Kelly Clarkson. I
Okay.
didn't really, but I got into it the second season.
Right.
And
That's we watched
yeah.
the Kelly. We actually,
Did you watch that season?
yeah, we watched that season. I took my daughter to Cleveland to see the
Okay.
show after that. That was 20 years ago. So she was still in high
Probably,
school,
yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, Kelly Clarkson! Oh my god!" But
Yeah.
oh my gosh, when Kelly came on, yeah, she blew everybody out of the
I
water.
mean, she's like the OG, you know,
Yeah,
like that when that kind of thing came around, like vocal competition, like TV, you know,
right.
made for TV, like competitions like that. She was like the original person to really. And then they got The Voice. I haven't really kept up. There's just so
Yeah,
many now.
I know.
You
Well,
got
you
all-
know, Star Search. I mean, you're talking,
yeah, I remember Star
Linda
Search.
Adder
I
was
mean,
a big
yeah,
Star
hey,
Search
there's some really
winner.
great, you know,
Yeah,
people that have gone on to have
and I'm
huge
sure the
careers.
50s had their,
Yeah,
you know, had their versions and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Well, like you know, like shows like the Ed Sullivan. Well, that's different. The Ed Sullivan
Yeah.
show. He'd bring on these unknown artists and they
Mhm.
blew up, like the Beatles, right? I
Mhm.
mean, that was kind of like their introduction to,
yeah,
you know,
you made the Sullivan Show. You've
you
made
made
it.
the Sullivan
Kind of like making the Carson Show, right?
Yeah.
As a comedian. You
yeah,
might get to-
yeah.
and then if
yeah.
you get to go sit on the couch, it's like, yeah,
Right,
you're in.
Yeah.
You know.
Another Idol winner. I mean, he didn't win actually, but I still follow his careers. Adam Lambert.
Oh, Adam Lambert. Yeah,
What a voice that guy has.
yeah. Oh,
I mean,
I
he
know.
just did a production of. He played Judas
Yeah.
in Jesus Christ Superstar, and I've been watching the clips
Yeah,
online. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
the guy. It's like how it's
I-
insane.
yeah.
You
Have you
know?
ever seen the show with Queen?
No, I haven't, but I've seen
Oh,
clips. Have you you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I have
Yeah.
it. I have the record, and we
Okay.
watched. There was a documentary show on it.
Yeah. Okay.
And as soon as I watched that, I went right and bought the album because he and the thing with him is he didn't try to be Freddie Mercury.
No, he's just being himself.
He's being himself, but he brought enough of Freddie Mercury to the song, but he also put his own spin on it. And you know, Brian May and the other guys are like, yeah, this
they
guy's
sort of. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
tough person
Oh.
to sort of replace. I mean, you can't.
well, and
you
he
know.
auditioned on Idol with Bohemian Rhapsody.
He
I
did.
mean,
And I remember if
Yeah.
you go back and watch it, they were telling him. I think Simon was like, "You're too theatrical. You're not right for this competition." I
Right.
think,
Yeah.
and here he is, probably one of the most successful,
Yeah.
winner. I mean, not winner. He came in second, but
Yeah.
you know,
I don't even know. Did he come in? Did he come in second?
he came in second.
Came
Yeah,
second.
Yeah, the other guy that won.
Who is
haven't
he?
heard anything about him
Yeah.
ever since that day. Yeah,
It's like Jennifer Hudson. I think she was fourth.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Chris Daughtry.
Yeah.
Another one who came in like sixth or something like that, and then went on to be huge. And,
Yeah.
I mean, Jennifer Hudson. I mean,
Oh yeah, she's yeah. When she played, what was that? Guys,
Dreamgirls.
Dreamgirls. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. I was single at the time. I went on New Year's Eve. I went to see Dreamgirls by myself. I'm like, yeah, she was awesome.
She was, I bet.
Yeah.
And she won the Oscar.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Just amazing stuff. Well, you know what, Jay? We've hit the top of the hour.
Okay. Yeah.
And we had a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks for coming down. I just love talking music, and it's my honor to have you here. And I can't tell you how proud I know Buffalo is. Great success, and I know you've got a lot of stuff ahead of you. So everybody be looking out for Jay. He's going to be doing some cool stuff, because I'm sure there's some fun stuff in the hopper that.
Oh yeah. Can't say much about it now, but
exactly.
Definitely stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yep.
And as I said, rockabillygreg.com, we will have links to Jay's social media. And do you have a website?
I do. Just jaydref.com.
jaydref.com. So keep on the lookout for that. And very excited before we tune off to say the podcast is now available on YouTube. So everyone's been asking me to get it on YouTube, and finally was able to get a little bit of time set aside to set that up. So we're on YouTube now. And as always, you can find the podcast where you find your podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Audible, thebuffalohive.com, and as mentioned already, rockabillygreg.com, where it's all about the music. And I'll find some videos of you up there, and we'll throw some of those on the website. And
sounds good.
Throw your bio up there, and again some links, and we'll have a link to get tickets for that show at the BPO.
Wonderful.
On September 27th.
September 27th.
And what time doors are? Do you know when doors?
The show is at 7 or 7:30.
So okay.
Yeah. So the doors will about an hour before
Oh
probably.
yeah. So 6:30. So make sure to get those tickets, kids, and get out there, support the BPO, and Jay.
Don't want to miss it. It'll be a great show.
Don't want to miss it. So thanks again, Jay, and to everyone who's tuned in. We thank you for tuning in as always, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye. In the Flamingo Lounge is made possible in part by CatsLikeUs.com, your online store for authentic vintage clothing and accessories. Buffalo Ironworks, an intimate live music venue and bar located in the Cobblestone District in downtown Buffalo. And by Diamond Hawk Golf Course and Pub, Western New York's premier golf course, restaurant, and banquet facility. At the Hawk, the bar is hopping year-round with live music every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And some other nights, too. Tune in for a new episode every Saturday at 9 a.m. EST at rockabillygreg.com, where it's all about the music. Bark, Zoe, bark. Good girl.